Hello, everybody, and welcome to Simply Cards by Kathi. Today is Thursday, July 18th, 2024, and I hope you're ready for some holiday card making. Today, we're going to make two rustic looking Christmas cards, and I'm really excited to share them with you. They're actually two cards I'm going to be using for my Christmas cards this year. So I am excited you're here with me. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so happy you found me. I hope you'll like what you see and hit that subscribe button. And if you are with me live or catching me on the replay, thank you for joining me and helping me grow my channel. So I am going to flip this camera down. Hi, Mary. Welcome, and thank you for joining me. About 70 here today in Cleveland, too. Beautiful day. This is my kind of weather. So I am going to flip this down, and we're going to get started. We're going to make two cards today. They're very easy cards. At least I think they are, and I hope you will too. We are going to use the Sophisticated Sled Bundle. This was one of the new online exclusives that came out in July. I absolutely love this bundle. I think there's so many opportunities to use it for, and some of them even for winter birthday cards. You have great dies that cut out like the sled and the wreath and the whatever that is also, a swag, the little bird, and then you have some detailed dies, which is what I'm using today. I'm going to show you how to use these detailed dies and put them together. So I'm going to pull some of these out because as we do this, I want to show you what we're using so that you understand how it goes together. So great bundle. Now, one other stamp set I'm using for some greetings is the greetings of the season. And I did use greetings from the Sophisticated Sled, but I did use Happy Holidays from here. So I just wanted to share that with you. So we're going to get started now. I have a piece of Misty Moonlight, and this is 4 1/4 by 11. Now, please don't worry about measurements. I will have a downloadable PDF for you by noon tomorrow, and you'll be able to get that link right down below in the YouTube video description, or you can head on over to my website, Simply Cards by Kathi, and you'll be able to see the post dated for tomorrow. And you'll download it from there too. So I'm going to score this. Now, some of the designer series paper I've chosen to use is I'm using the Country Woods. I love this paper, and I have to be honest, I haven't used it up until now, but I used it for these two cards, and you'll see I used it for some of my die cuts. I also used it for backgrounds. This came out, oh gosh, with the annual catalog and with two other stamp sets, which right now escape me, but really pretty papers. And I wanted that rustic look, which is why I decided to use that. So I'm starting off with a piece of, let's see here, basic white that is 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm going to layer it with one of those papers from the Country Woods. And this is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. So let's go ahead and we're going to adhere that to that basic white layer. Now, there's not a lot of stamping. We're going to stamp and do a little bit of coloring on one of the cards. In fact, the card that I'm doing now. But otherwise, it's really using a lot of those die cuts. So we're going to go ahead and adhere this down. And I just want to make sure I get it pretty even all the way around, which it isn't. Let's lift it up a little bit and try that again. So let's go here and here. And that looks pretty good. All right, so this is going to be our base. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the Misty Moonlight card base. And then we're going to construct our, look at me talking and not even, yeah, I'm paying attention. I guess I am. So let's just put this down here, and we've got our card base done. Next, we're going to make our focal point, and the focal point is going to be a sled. So I have cut out the pieces ahead of time, and this is the base for the sled. So I cut that out of basic black. And then this makes up the wooden frame or the back of the sled and this front piece. And I cut that out of a piece of the Country Woods Designer Series paper. And I used this one. So with that, when you cut this out, you get two pieces. You get this part for the sled, and then you get the front part. They come out together, and that's going to go up in here. So let's go ahead and adhere these. I'm going to bring in my silicone mat, and we're going to adhere these, and I am going to use my fine point glue. And I'm just going to add, because this is going to go on like this, right up, I put this bottom part right here, even with this bottom rung for the sled, for the frame of the sled. So I'm going to add some glue to this. And then I'm going to add a little bit of glue right in here. Now, you can also add it to the tracks. I'm going to add it on the sides right to my Designer Series paper, right on those two edges. I'm going to turn it around and add a little bit here. Okay, and I see there's one piece here that did not pop out. So there we go. So let's go ahead and adhere this, and it's really easy to do. So I'm going to bring this down and line up my edges, and this down, and here is our sled. Now we need to adhere this right here. So I am going to put some glue on this and just run it across gently. And we're going to adhere this right here. Okay, now we're going to pop this up using mini Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some of those on, but then we're going to decorate our sled with a spray or a sprig of the swag that's in this stamp set. So I'm just going to add these right down the middle. And I didn't really worry much about not being able to get these on. They fit on well, the minis. I did think that the others, even when I cut them in half, I thought the regular Stampin' Dimensionals. Hi, Carol. Thank you for joining us. So what I did is I kept these on the inside of the runners for the sled, so that I just wanted it to give it some good support when it stands up through the mail. Now for this piece right here, I am going to take my scissors and I'm going to just snip a real thin piece off the edge of my dimensionals, and you don't need a lot. And I'm going to adhere this to that center point right here. So whoops, let's do that right here. All right, so this will be ready to mount when we're done. So I'm going to set that off to the side. Now we want to stamp, I want to stamp one of those swags that was in the stamp set. So I'm going to use Tuxedo Black because I am going to color this with my Stampin' Blends. And let's just give it some good ink. and I'm going to grab my foam mat. Because this is a photopolymer stamp set, I just feel like I get a better image when I use the mat, and it gives some cushion. And there we go. So I'm going to let that sit here for a minute and just dry. And we're going to go ahead and color. Now, the colors I've chosen for this are shaded spruce, both the light and the dark. I'm going to do the berries in blueberry bushel, and I used real red for the ribbon. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to color this. Now I'm going to lay down using the fine point, whoops, some dark of the shaded spruce. And I just want to add a little bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and I will spread or blend that with my light shaded spruce. Now, because these leaves are pretty small, I am using the fine or the bullet point tip, which is a little finer, and just kind of blending those colors in. And so if you are new to my channel and you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would be honored to have the opportunity to help you with your stamping needs and be your demonstrator. If you are in need of a catalog, if you go up to that right-hand corner and just click onto my website, you can send me an email, but please include your name and your address. I do get emails, believe it or not, saying, please send me a catalog, but they don't tell me where to send it. So I'd be more than happy to send that to you. So we are now getting ready for the new mini catalog or holiday catalog that'll be out. Whoa, look at that. Look how that pulled out from it's on so tight. Let me try and get that off without that happening again. That has happened to me. Oh, and it's splattered. Oh, that has happened to me now and then. And when it pulls apart, because it clicks on so tightly. So let me grab another piece of basic white, because that did a great job of splattering, didn't it? And we'll just color this again. Hi, Carla. Thank you for joining. So if that happens to you, and I've had that happen before, you can just put it back in, reattach the tip, and it will be fine. But then just be careful when you take it off, not to, that when you click it on, you want it on tight, but you don't want to try not to pull so hard that it comes off. And I've only had that happen about 2 or 3 times, but it has happened. So never that you want it to happen when you're in the middle of something though, right? So let's go back and we're just going to do this real quick and add these up. I'm not going to be real picky, but I do want to just show you a little bit of the blending and how to color this for some ideas. And I hope you have some fun plans for the weekend. If you're on with me, let me know if you do have any fun plans. I have a 9-year-old granddaughter who is starring in the 101 Dalmatians this weekend. And so I will be there watching her, along with my card making and crafting here. Okay, let's add a little bit more here. We've got some more green. And you can see I'm using the light shaded spruce. And hopefully I'm going to pick this up. You can see the shading where I did add the dark. I think that's pretty good. We've got up in here. All right. Now for the berries, I am going to use the light blueberry bushel, and I'm going to use the bullet point. And when you have something so small as those, I find rather than trying to color it, if I just tap it like putting dots down, the ink, the because it's alcohol, spreads, and you don't it doesn't really come out of the lines. So I just dot it or dab it and let that fill in the color. So we're almost done with this one. And you can see it does a nice job, that bullet point with that. And I think that looks good. Now we're going to do our ribbon. So for the ribbon, I'm using real red, the dark and the light. And I'm just going to come in here and add some dark on one side for some shading and bring that in, and a little bit in here. And I want to do that for the center too. Okay. Now, let's use the light and kind of color this through. So I'm going to try using the larger point for this and just blend this in. And hopefully you can see the colors blending. How many of you like to color? I love coloring, all types of coloring. But I just find it relaxing. Let's do a little bit in here. Now, when you're using your blends, be very light-handed. You don't want to press hard because you're going to ruin the felt tip, especially on the larger brush tip point, and then it flattens it out. So just be a little bit light-handed. You can always go back and add more color if you want to, but you can't take it away. So here is our swag. And Carol loves the color. I love it too. Now, because of the TV, I went ahead and made one ahead of time and cut it out. And we're going to use this for on our sled. So for this one, I want to mount this right on my sled. And to do that, I'm going to add some mini dimensionals, and easily it will attach there. So let's grab those, and I have them right here. And I'm going to put one on the very top because it'll fit right on that top point of the sled. And then I'm just going to go around the edge for the others. And it's so cute. I'm anxious to show it to you. So let's put this here. And I'm going to put one on the very tip right down here. And let's put one more right here. And let's grab a pick tool to get these off. Mary, you like using the watercolor pencils? Oh, they are pretty, and you get some really beautiful results with them. I just love it all. Just love coloring, but I'm so glad that everybody has a little bit different of what they like to do. So this is going to go right here on the center. And we're going to be ready to pop that on. But first, I want to stamp my sentiment. Now, I have a sentiment from the Sophisticated Sled, and it says, "Let's decorate the season with happiness." So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that. And we're going to mount that with dimensionals on the front of our card. So let's stamp, probably doesn't matter. I'm not going to do anything much with that little hole. I'm just going to leave it for now. So here is our greeting, and we're going to pop that up too. So I thought of putting a bow there, but I'm going to wait and see what you all think what might be good there. I thought it might be too much on the card once I show you the card if I pop the bow on. So I'll be anxious to see what you think would be good to, if you think there's something good to add to the front of the card. Let's go ahead and add one more here. I'm going to put this here. All right. Now for this one, I thought I'd put this up at the top here and off to the side a little bit. So let's do that. And then with our sled, we're going to put that on the front. And let's remove these. Do these get all over your house? These are all over. Last night I had card class here at home with several wonderful ladies. And I find these all over, even when I'm doing it. So let's just pop this here. Now I'm going to use this right like that. I just kind of, like this. And lay that down. So there's the outside of our card. Now for the inside of our card, I'm going to use a piece of basic white, and I took a strip of matching the designer series paper and thought I'd adhere that along the side of that white layer. So let's do that. And this might be a little long. I think I left it at about 6 inches, and we'll just trim it off. Let's go up to the top. Now, oftentimes I will add my strip before I stamp the greeting, because that gives me a little bit of perspective of what's the center of the card once the strip is on, because it kind of narrows it a little bit for stamping. But my greeting for the inside is also from the Sophisticated Sled. Hope your days are filled with fun and laughter. So let's stamp that up, and then we're done with this card. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you think we need to put on the front. Do you think gems would be good there? Or do you think a bow where that little circle hole is? That die is from the seasonal, I think it's seasonal labels or seasonal greetings. And they all have these little holes to make them tags if you'd want to. But I like using them just for the sentiments on the card themselves. So let's put this on. All right. And here's our first card. So let's move this off to the side, and I'm going to get rid of these blends because we're not going to be using them. And we're going to go ahead and start our second card, which is a little bit different, but has some similarities. Thank you, Susan. I'm so glad you like it. Thank you. Now, our second card is one of my favorite colors for the holidays. It's shaded spruce. It's that green that just is so striking. And again, the measurements will be in the PDF tomorrow, but this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And for this, I am using a layer of basic white that is dry embossed with that new Birchwood 3D embossing folder. I'm going to bring it in. This is one of those large embossing folders, but has so much texture and design to it. And since I wanted that rustic look, I thought this would look really pretty on the card. So let's go ahead and we're going to adhere this. Now, this card will go a little bit faster because we're not doing any coloring, but I do want to show you how to use some of these dies. And they're actually quite fun to use. So let's put this down. Okay. Now, next, we're going to do a sled again, but this time I did the sled out of a different one of those papers. And I actually took the liberty to go ahead and put it together because you've seen me do it. So you know now how to put it together. But this is going to be on here, and here is our greeting. But we're going to use two of the sprays from the die cut from the Sophisticated Sled Bundle. And we're going to mount these right on here. Now to do that, I'm simply going to use a glue dot and attach it right to the sled. So I'm going to find the center, what I think is the center, and I'm just going to take a glue dot and kind of ball it up and put it on the back and put it right there. And we're going to add that right here. Okay. Now next, we are going to add a second one. Now you wouldn't have to add a second one, but I liked the fuller look of it. So I decided we'd do two. So that we're going to add this here. And I'm just going to add that right to the top and just give it a little bit of a twist to give it a little bit of a fuller look. Okay, so that's going to go there. Now, next, we're going to use the skates. And I had the skates here, but we're probably going to have to cut them. So I'm going to recut the skates while you're here. And I want to show you a couple things. These are the blades for the skates. Now, I took some silver foil and cut those out. And then this other little die here is where to go. It's right here. These are the ties for the skates. And I'm going to show you how to put these together. But I think I forgot to cut the skates. So let me do that real quick. I'm just going to turn around right behind me and cut those out. And I apologize for that. So, but I think it'll be I think you're going to like the card. So hang with me for a second while I pop these out here and we will put them together. Okay, so with these, you cut them out and you get, this is what they look like, and you get these two skates. And then you kind of have to piecemeal them together, but it's so worth it for the look that you're going to get. So let me show you how we're going to do that. I am going to bring in my little silicone mat because I don't want to get any glue on anything we're working on. So let me grab that. So here is the little ties. So you're going to add just a little bit of glue, and I'm going to use my glue gun. And I'm going to add it right to this back portion here very lightly. Now, another thing you could do would be to just put these on, turn them over, and add just a little piece of Scotch tape. But these are going to slide right into your skate. So when you turn them on the back, they're back through the slit. You have a slit in the skates. So let's do the second one. And then I used the foil, oops, wrong side. I used the foil for the blades, and I'm going to give you a tip for using that. I think it's hard to use glue with foil because if you get it on the foil, it leaves kind of marks it or mars it, and it's hard to get off. So here's our two skates with ties, and again, you could take Scotch tape and just tape those down. Now here are my two blades. So what I want to do is instead of putting the glue on the foil, I'm going to add glue with fine tip glue gun right in here and up here where it's going to go. And then I'm simply going to slide it on and press it down. So here's our first skate. Now the second skate. Hi, Renee. Thanks for joining. I'm going to add a little bit here again. Just a little bit of glue. You don't need a lot. And then just pop these on. I just think that adds so much. Aren't those cute? I love them. Now I want these to kind of hang from the sled. So what I thought would be fun to do is to take some black baker's twine, and I'm just going to cut a piece, kind of, I don't know, a couple inches. And we're going to cut that. And I want to put these together. So I'm going to take a glue dot, put it right here, and overlap these so these are together. So let's do that. And let's pick this up here. And I'm just going to overlap them like if you were carrying them. I skated a lot as a kid. If you were carrying them, they'd be overlapped like that. And then I'm going to take this baker's thread, and I'm just going to adhere it right to the back here and even down a little bit. So let's grab some. You could use a glue dot. I'm going to use just a little piece of Scotch tape here and get this together. And it just gives it that realistic look, like they're kind of hanging from the ties. So let's add that here. And then I can trim off that little piece, or you can fold it back. I'm just going to trim it. All right, now I want to add this to here. So to do that, I'm going to use a glue dot, and that will hold it in place. And then we're going to cover that with a bow. So let's put this here. And let's hang this right from here. So I'm just going to add that right up a little high. Right there. All right, so let's go ahead and pop this on the front of our card. Oh, Susan, you're welcome. I find foil is really hard, and especially once you get the glue on it. I have tried taking it off with even alcohol, and it just mars the surface. So I find if you put it on the cardstock and then add your foil or whatever you're going to add that foil, add it to, that then you will, you just kind of get a better look to it. So let's pop this down. Okay. Now I want to here my little skates. So now that I have those, and I'm even going to pull this up a little bit and stick it to that glue dot, because we're going to cover that. I'm going to pop a couple dimensionals on my skates just to kind of hold them in place. So let's do that. And I could have done that before, but it doesn't really matter. And you don't need a lot. I'm just going to add one here and one at the top. All right. Like I said, those little backs are all over the place. All right, so let's pop this right here. All right. Now let's finish the front off by adding a bow. And I thought the black and white ribbon would look really pretty. So let's just do a single bow. And I'm going to, since I'm right-handed, do it the right way. And pull it through here. All right, once I get it pulled through, I'm just going to work with my two little ends till I get them the size I want them, and then trim it down. And I don't want this too big, so that looks pretty good to me. So let's go ahead and trim that off. All right. And I'm going to take another glue dot and we're going to just cover that up right there. So let's do that now. And I feel like today I've used so many glue dots. All right, let's put this right here. Okay, and we're going to pop up our greeting that I stamped, and I'm going to just grab some large dimensionals here. And then I have a trick to show you for the inside, or at least something a little different. So let's get these off and get this on. Ah. All right, and I'm going to put this right here. Okay, so there's the outside of our card. So for the inside, let's do that. So for our inside, I thought I wanted to try to, instead of adding paper, I thought it would be fun to stamp the skates on there and then put my greeting over it. I thought that would just be something different. So what I did is I took the stamp from the set, which is already has like the ties on it, and I thought it would stamp lighter with smoky slate. So what I'm going to do is ink up my stamp, but I'm going to stamp off lightly. Then I'm going to come in here and right in the middle stamp my image. Very light, that's all I wanted, just in the background. Then I'm going to come in with my greeting, and I'm using the same greeting I did for the last card. I hope your days are filled with fun and laughter. And we're going to ink that up with our Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And we're going to stamp right over this. So that you have just a little different look to the inside of your card. So let's adhere this. And we've made two rustic looking cards using the Country Woods Designer Series paper and the Sophisticated Sled Bundle. So let's bring them back in here. Okay. And I'm going to bring you back to me. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I really had so much fun making these that I couldn't wait to share them with you. They're easy cards, a little bit more putting the dies together and maybe not as much stamping, but I think this stamp set or bundle has so many possibilities to it. If you like today's video, please consider giving me a thumbs up. Feel free to share it. I hope you have a wonderful and safe weekend. I will be back with you with another fun fold on Monday evening at 7 o'clock. Have a good weekend, everybody, and take care.